The truth has finally come out, and it is absolutely sickening. I'm here to break down all of the new updates that we have surrounding Rafael Devers and the drama that followed him all the way to San Francisco that just magically disappeared. I'll break down all of these new events on this episode of Red Sox Digest, but first, please do remember to scroll down and smash the subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on everything Boston Red Sox, as nearly 90% of you guys watching this video are not currently subscribed to the channel. We do appreciate the love and support, so thank you guys, but now let's get to it and break down just really what is going on. And now Devers wants to play first base, and how is this actually going on? Because it is a bit mind-numbing from a Red Sox fan, someone who wanted to support Rafael Devers before and even after all of the drama and the trade that took place between the Boston Red Sox and the San Francisco Giants just a week ago or so. And now Devers is making it nearly impossible to support him or defend him in any capacity, and I'll break down why. And yes, I am a few days late to this. I meant to record it about 2 days ago. Life happens. I apologize for the delay, but if you don't know, I'm here to break it all down for you. So, to start from Talking Baseball, this is a quote from Rafael Devers that goes on to say, quote, "I am here to play whatever they want me to play." End of the quote from Rafael Devers. And again, for someone who was traded due to the lack of ability and lack of want to move around the diamond and play different positions, this is like one of many straws that is breaking the camel's back here, in the sense that why is this now the mentality? Why was it Breslow? Was it John Henry? Was it Sam Kennedy? Was it Alex Cora? Was it the Red Sox fan base? Was it why? What changed from Boston to San Francisco? Like, what internally changed that allows you and puts you in a position where you're more than willing to do whatever you're going to be asked upon, rather than a team that you had been with since 2017, won a World Series ring with, been the leader of, wanted the entire organization, the entire city, everything that had to do with the Boston Red Sox wanted you to be involved in that equation in one way or another, whether it was a DH, a first baseman, a third baseman. What changed? Why is it that the change of scenery was really, hey, you know what? I'll play first. You want me to play second? I'll play second. I'll even catch if you need me to. Whatever you guys want me to do, I will do. Why did that mentality why was it not present in Boston, and why did it immediately become a thing once you got to San Francisco? And yes, you may be thinking, Houston, he's just saying this to get people like you riled up and make people surrounding the Red Sox fan base or pieces of the Red Sox fan base to be upset and question him and this and that. No, it's real. Like, he meant this. And it not only did he say it in that quote, but as well as he took ground balls before game 1 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the San Francisco Giants that were played in San Francisco. Now, the Red Sox would end up losing this season series, the first series lost in the month of June for the Boston Red Sox, at least up to this point, as it's now June 23rd. They did lose 1-2 in the sense of games between the Red Sox and the San Francisco Giants. And Devers went, I believe it was 2 for 13 in the series. He did have a 2-run home run or a 3-run home run to left center field. Bello simply just challenged him on a fastball down and away. We have watched and witnessed how if you don't try to challenge Devers up and in, and you try to challenge him with a fastball basically anywhere else on and over the plate, he's most likely going to have a good chance to make hard contact and send the ball a long, long way. But it didn't end there in the sense of quotes and comments and overall activities that showed that Devers simply is more than willing to do whatever it takes for San Fran in comparison to what he was willing to do in Boston. This from Foul Territory on Twitter, as they go on to say, Bob Melvin says Rafael Devers will play a little bit of DH and a little bit of first base. Quote, "We're going to work him in and get him some ground balls at first and make sure he's comfortable before we put him over there." And that's the end of the quote from Bob Melvin. And it didn't just end there. There were other quotes. There was other examples of Devers simply working out at first base. And then obviously a questionnaire being presented to everyone that would be willing to answer involved in the Giants organization, including Melvin, including Buster Posey, including Rafael Devers. and they all immediately jumped the gun and said, no, he is not playing first base in this series against the Red Sox. We just acquired Devers. We know he hasn't played there in his entirety of his MLB career, but later down the line, possibly even in the next few series, we could see him at first base defensively for this San Francisco Giants team. And it's just simply infuriating. It really is, because this is all it took for Rafael Devers to remain in Boston and remain as the golden piece and the golden boy for the Boston Red Sox. He would have been beloved. He would have been adored and taken care of for the entirety of his career, even if he went out there and played first base and he was dog shit at it and couldn't. He, once again, just like third base, led the league in errors at first base. I'm here to argue that there's a good chance he is still beloved. And despite it not working at first base, Cora, Breslow, Sam Kennedy, John Henry all nod their heads and shake Devers' hands and say, hey, you tried, you gave us your best effort. Even though you're horrible defensively, you made the effort, and because of that, you can remain at DH. We'll find a different answer at first base. Does it end up in resulting in a trade for trading Devers away? That is a different equation that we don't know the answer to. And yes, we can go off of hypotheticals and different ideas, but it's just the fact that Devers simply did not want to budge. He didn't want to break his ego. I'm a third baseman. I'm not playing DH. A week goes by. All right, fine. I'll be the DH. I don't want to. I want to be the I want to be the third baseman. But because you guys brought in Bregman, and just to make everyone's life a little bit easier so I don't get ran out of Boston this early, I'll be the DH. Hey, what about first base? And obviously that's the straw that broke the camel's back. And we got some really good reporting from Peter Abraham. Will cite this before the Ian Brownie tweet. So we'll start with this. This article, it was written on Blue Sky. It was published on Blue Sky, something very similar to Twitter or X, whatever you'd like to refer to it as, And this was an article that if you click on the picture of Devers, it takes you to, and it goes on to break down really the ending of the relationship and what caused the ending or the end to this relationship between Rafael Devers and the Boston Red Sox organization. So if you click on the photo, it takes you to the article, and this is the first quote we're going to cite. And again, this is the discussion between the Red Sox organization, all the main front office members that we've already mentioned in this video, like John Henry, like Sam Kennedy, like Craig Breslow, and even Alex Cora, and really what happened between those four main pieces in the Red Sox front office with Rafael Devers that resulted in the departure of Devers and his landing in San Francisco. So Peter Abraham would go on to say that led to principal owner John Henry making an unscheduled trip to Kansas City on May 9th to meet with the player he had signed to a $313.5 million contract extension in 2023, just 2 years ago. Obviously speaking about Rafael Devers. Then this would go on to say, quote, they wanted me to play first base. I told Henry they eventually, yes, I could play first base, but maybe next year. It was not my fault that players get hurt, Devers said. Quote, I felt like if another player got hurt, they would move me again. And that is the end of the quote. Again, quoting Rafael Devers and his response to John Henry when he flew to Kansas City unexpectedly to have this conversation with star player, largest contract on the team player, Rafael Devers. Again, only the second year of a 10-year extension for $313.5 million. And Devers, despite losing Tristan Casas due to injury, was not willing to pick up the rest of his team and play first base. And we all thought when this trade initially happened, Craig Breslow, you deserve to lose your job. You deserve to be fired and never allowed to be a part of a baseball organization again, especially in a front office. And then we all immediately thought they were going to dump a bunch and a surplus of bad information and negative connotation energy about Devers into just all outlets, all news outlets and surrounding Boston and the Red Sox. And we've gotten more information, obviously, about Devers and really the overall mentality, and David Ortiz has been very vocal about that, as well as Manny Ramirez. And it's getting really hard to defend Rafael Devers. It really is. With all of the actions and all of the things that have been taking place since he has landed in San Francisco and his willingness to move around the diamond defensively as well as from DH to first, whatever it may be, it's nauseating. And it's very, very infuriating just because that's all it took for him to remain in Boston. No trades to take place, and this Red Sox team would still be the same in the sense of personnel, lineup, and everything else. And Rafael Devers would still be one of the key contributors to a Red Sox team rather than a San Francisco Giants team. Now, Ian Brownie went on to tweet this. Two things, actually. The first one, Rafael Devers mostly didn't want to talk about the past today, but he did offer this. He said if the Red Sox had asked him to play first base at the beginning of spring training, he would have. And then Ian would go on to then say, quote, I would say that I have put up good numbers over at Boston. I think that I do feel that I have earned some respect. And if they would have asked me at the beginning of spring training, yes, I would have played. And that's the end of the quote from Rafael Devers discussing why he didn't play first base and why he wasn't willing to play first base when they approached him and asked him back in March when they were in Kansas City. Now, it's a lot to dissect. The last thing I think we're going to highlight, in this video is from awful announcing on Twitter. Honestly, I don't think this was awful announcing because I think everyone surrounding the Red Sox organization as a piece of the organization, as a fan base, as a supporter of Devers independently, or the Red Sox as a whole, we're all thinking this. And again, this was a quote from Dave O'Brien during the Red Sox first game against the Giants in Devers' first at bat. I think two wishes can be true at the same time, Will. I wish Rafael Devers was hitting for the Red Sox tonight. I also wish that he had agreed to pick up a glove and play first base when he was asked to. And again, that is the end of the quote from Dave O'Brien, and he couldn't have been more spot on. Despite watching Devers play for the San Francisco Giants, it was infuriating. It was something that you don't want to see as a Red Sox fan and supporter, but because of his inabilities and because of his ego, it's best that he has just moved. The Craig Breslow, despite being jumped on for making this trade, did make a good financial decision in moving someone in the second year of a 10-year contract extension, moving the entirety of $313.5 million to San Francisco, picking up a lot more arms for this Red Sox team that are going to be good now as well as later down the line. And overall, they got rid of an ego in Rafael Devers. Let me know down below what your overall opinions are on Rafael Devers' willingness to play first base and really anywhere that the Giants are going to ask him to play in comparison to what we saw with this Red Sox organization. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Red Sox Digest.